You know how you sometimes have that one friend who gets along a little too well with your partner? The one who's always joking, hugging, whispering things like, we'd be such a power couple. If only. Yeah, I didn't think much of it either, until it all got weird. This is my story. My girlfriend Anna and my best friend Julia had known each other for a while. We all hung out together, shared laughs, went on trips. Julia's always been the bold type, loud, funny, no filter. She'd tease me a lot, even in front of Anna, but I thought it was harmless. I mean, we've been friends since high school. We used to joke that if we were both single at 30, we'd get married. Total nonsense. Or so I thought. Then, we went on this weekend trip with friends. Right from the start, Julia was glued to me. Sat next to me in the car. Sat next to me at dinner. Laughed way too hard at my dumbest jokes. And Anna? She was left sitting on the side. I started to feel weird. Later that night, Julia pulled out her phone and started showing me old photos. Just the two of us. From years ago. She kept saying things like, God, we were so close back then. Remember that night? That was our thing. Anna tried to join the conversation, and Julia just said, oh, you wouldn't get it. It's kind of our inside joke. I froze. I didn't know what to say. Anna didn't freak out. She didn't say anything, actually, but I could feel the silence. The distance. It wrapped around us like a thick fog. Even though we were all sitting by the same fire, I felt like Anna was a mile away. The next morning, Anna was quiet. Not cold, not passive-aggressive, just quieter than usual. And that silence? It was deafening. Julia, on the other hand, was back to being the life of the party. Laughing, shouting over breakfast, nudging me, and saying, remember when we got stuck in that storm together? Best night of my life. Then she looked at Anna and said, but I guess you had to be there. I tried to change the subject to play it cool, but Anna just got up and walked outside. I watched her go. Something about the way she closed the door behind her felt final. Later that day, while we were all out hiking, Julia reached for my hand while crossing a narrow bridge. It wasn't a big deal, but she held on just a little too long. And when she let go, she whispered, you always made me feel safe, you know that? I didn't answer. I didn't even look at her. That night, Anna finally spoke up. We were in our room, alone. She didn't yell. She didn't accuse. She just looked at me and said, do you think she respects me? I didn't know what to say, because deep down, I wasn't sure anymore. And then she added, or do you think you enjoy the attention too much to notice? That one hit hard. I wanted to defend myself. I wanted to say, no, I love you. I don't see her like that. But there was a pause, a hesitation. And that hesitation said more than any words could. Because the truth is, a part of me had enjoyed the attention, the familiarity, the way Julia always made me feel like I was the center of the room. And suddenly, I didn't know who I was in this story anymore. Was I the clueless boyfriend, the secretly flattered friend, or the guy too scared to set a boundary? The trip ended awkwardly. The car ride home was silent. Julia sang along to the radio in the front seat. Anna stared out the window in the back. And me? I just drove, wondering when exactly this all stopped being innocent. When did it shift? Was it when Julia leaned on my shoulder during the group photo? Was it the hand on my back that lingered just a second too long? Or was it when I didn't pull away? That night, when we got back from the trip, Anna didn't come home with me. She said she needed space. Just a day or two at her sister's. I nodded. I understood. But when the door closed behind her, the silence hit harder than ever before. That's when I started scrolling back. Old messages from Julia. Photos. Videos. Stuff I hadn't thought twice about before now felt different. Flirty captions. Late-night voice notes. Miss you already kiss mark. Was I blind, or was I just pretending not to see it? 2 days passed. Then 3. No word from Anna. On the 4th day, Julia showed up at my door. Unannounced. With wine. And some dumb excuse about checking if I was okay. She walked in like it was her place. Kicked off her shoes. Sat on the couch. Then she said it. Softly, but dead serious. You know, we always had something. You just never let yourself see it. But now maybe it's time. I didn't answer. Because for a split second, my brain froze. Not because I felt the same way, but because a part of me wondered what would have happened if Anna hadn't walked in. But she did. Yeah, Anna walked in, holding a small bag, probably planning to stay the night. She froze in the doorway, saw the wine, saw Julia on the couch, saw me, standing in the middle like an idiot with a face full of guilt. She didn't cry, didn't scream. She just nodded once and said, "I guess I got my answer," and left. Julia stood up, smug for a second, but even she could feel it, the tension, the silence, the disgust on my face. I asked her to leave, and when the door shut behind her, it was the loudest sound in the world. It echoed in my head for hours, not because of what had happened, but because of everything I let happen. I sat on that couch for what felt like forever, the wine still on the table, her perfume still in the air, my phone lighting up with 0 new messages. Days passed. I tried calling Anna again. Still nothing. Her social media? Quiet. Except for one thing. A photo. A blurry shot from a cafe, posted on her sister's story. Anna was sitting at a table with someone. A guy. Back turned. Just 2 coffee mugs and a hand resting on hers. It was barely visible, but clear enough. I zoomed in. Paused. My stomach flipped. Who was that? I wasn't sure what hurt more. That she might be moving on, or that I didn't even know if I had the right to feel hurt anymore. I didn't bring it up. Couldn't. Instead, I sent a short message. "If you ever want to talk, I'll be here." 3 days later, she replied. One word. Maybe. That maybe was enough to keep me hanging. A week later, we met. Neutral ground. A park. Middle of the day. No pressure. She looked tired. Beautiful but distant. Like someone who had already done her grieving. I felt like I was arriving late to a funeral I didn't know had happened. We walked. Small talk at first. Then silence. Then finally she asked, "Did you ever think maybe I was testing you?" That threw me. "What do you mean?" She took a deep breath. "I saw the way she looked at you months ago. The little comments. The constant touching. And I waited to see if you would notice. If you would protect us. But you didn't. Not once." I tried to speak, but she raised a hand. That night on the trip, I knew exactly what Julia was doing. I saw it all. You didn't just let her flirt. You let her own the space between us. And when I walked in and saw her on your couch, I realized I was no longer part of the equation. I asked about the cafe, the guy, the photo. She smirked. "Oh, that? Just a friend. But I'm glad it made you uncomfortable." I blinked. "So that was on purpose?" "I needed you to feel a fraction of what I felt. And if that shook you even a little, maybe it means there's something left worth saving." And in that moment, I didn't feel relief. I felt panic, because I realized I was standing between 2 people, and no matter which way I turned, someone would get hurt. I knew Anna and Julia would never get along again. Not after everything that was said. Not after what they saw in each other. But here's the thing. Julia and I share memories. Years of inside jokes, long talks at 2 a.m., dumb adventures, stupid teenage promises. She's like a mirror of who I used to be. But with Anna, I felt safe, grounded. We built something real. We talked about the future. We had Sunday mornings with coffee and silence. We had love. And now, I was caught in this impossible space between nostalgia and reality. Between a past that never quite faded, and a future that was starting to feel fragile. I didn't want to lose Anna, but cutting Julia out felt like erasing a part of my history. And maybe that's selfish. Maybe that's weak. But I kept thinking, what if there's a way to fix this? To keep both? To balance the line between friendship and love? Or was I just fooling myself? Was I just delaying the moment when everything finally breaks? So now I'm asking you again, what would you do? Could you walk away from someone you've known your whole life? For someone who might be the rest of it? Tell me honestly in the comments. Because I don't know anymore. And maybe one of you does. Subscribe for more stories that make your chest tighten. Because sometimes the hardest battles are the ones no one else sees.